Hello, everyone. My name is Mark Edward Blanton with The Real South Africa.
And I am Dr. Latasha Blanton, also with The Real South Africa.
We have an amazing group trip that you will be interested in. It's with the African Diaspora News Channel. A great YouTube channel gives you great information about what's going on in Africa. But we have a group trip featuring Phil Scott, the host.
And the trip is going to take place on March 16th to the 25th. It's going to go to Johannesburg and Cape Town, and It's in 2022. If you're interested in traveling, please send an email to info@therealsouthafrica.com.
And we'll see you here in sunny South Africa.
The Black community suffers from the worst health disparities. The Minister of Wellness Ministries is the only pro-Black Bible-based health ministry of its kind. We teach biblical health principles that can eradicate obesity and disease. We have everything you need to feel better than you've ever felt in your life. Act now to get your biblical health ebook and DVD, both for free. TheMinisterofWellness.com, TheMinisterofWellness.com.
During this holiday season, give your loved ones a gift that keeps on giving for the rest of their life. Torpedo Pot is the only affordable self-growing flower pot that ensures your future food survival. All you do is add soil, seeds, and seedlings to the flower pot and watch your plants grow. Torpedo Pot can grow nutritious food in such abundance and variety that you can produce more food than your local farm. Visit www.torpedopot.com.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, thank you for joining us on the show today. Today we're here with Sister Demetria. Sister Demetria, you in there?
I'm here.
All right, Sister Demetria is here. We looking everybody. I'm gonna check my sound real quick, just to check my sound.
I'm here.
All right, Sister Demetria. All right, I always gotta check my sound, Sister Demetria, because you never know. Somebody may say, "Hey, we can't hear you." X, Y, and Z. I got my dog down here at the bottom. I don't know why she's up here underneath my desk. She's snoring. I don't know why.
She's comfortable there.
I guess so. Well, for everybody, we want to say, I guess, Merry Christmas to everybody. Demetria, how was your holiday?
It was just like a regular day. I don't celebrate Christmas, but to those of you who do, Merry Christmas and all of that. But it's a regular day to me. My daughter's birthday is actually tomorrow, so that's a day that we do celebrate.
Okay, is that the daughter that I met last week?
My one and only daughter. Don't tell nobody, but she'll be 29.
Oh, she only look like no 29. So she must be doing something right.
Yes.
Awesome. That is great. That is great. Well, for us, what we end up doing was we went to my cousin's house. Because last year, we didn't want to take no chances with this virus situation. So we ended up going to my cousin's house. I don't know. I think you met that particular cousin. Maybe you didn't. But we went to her house. She's the one that does real estate, and she's into politics and all of that. So everybody went to her house. It was kind of like a pajama party. And this is the funny part, Sister Demetria. I remember about 10 years ago, people stay up to like about 3, 4 in the morning and do these little Christmas, celebration parties. But I notice a running theme is happening, Sister Demetria. Maybe you could explain this to me. Now people want to start turning in and ending the party now at 9:30 and 10:30.
We getting old. I mean, I don't know the last time I even saw New Year's Eve. Like, I'm usually in bed at 9 o'clock. I might wake up when I hear the fireworks or something like that, but I'm like, I'm too old for that. I'm going to sleep.
Yeah, you get a little older and you think about back in the day how you didn't sleep at all. I remember just even a few years ago, Sister Demetria, I was running and gunning on this platform, only getting 2 and 3 hours sleep a day.
Oh.
Now, I can't do that no more like I used to. Maybe a day or two I can do it, but then I'm going to really sleep.
Yeah, that's what happens. It catches up to you. So, yeah, I completely understand.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. So, like I said, with everyone, like I said, thank you for coming in. And one person down here saying black don't crack. And well, I will say this: black actually can crack if you use drugs. I've seen that, or you abuse alcohol too much. I've seen black can crack when they do that, but normally you're right. Black don't crack, especially if you take care of yourself. So, Sister Dimitri, like I said, I wanted to, talk to you about a few things. We had a chance to talk, on the platform like this. At all, at least, when the last time we haven't had a conversation on the platform, have we?
Not you and I, no.
No, okay. All right, awesome. So we're going to get to a lot of conversation with Sister Demetria, but it's one thing, unfortunately, I got to touch on. There's a little brother. I don't know if you remember this young brother. His name was Kim the Comic. I don't know if you remember him. He worked with O'Shea, Duke Jackson on the Kinganda channel. And this young brother did do content, with us over here a few times as well. And maybe you don't remember the young brother, but I'll play a video of his real quick, just like a minute or so video that he had done, at one point in time on this channel, just so he can remind you of who this brother is. Let me play that just real quick.
So my name is Kim the Comic from the Kinganda YouTube channel, and let's start off with the headlines. Canadian man says he burned $1 million to keep money from his ex-wife during a divorce settlement. Liberian women too unfit to join the army.
You know what, Sister Demetria? Let me upload that to this video clip section. Because see, this is why I don't use StreamYard. I hate that program. I don't know if it's because my setup, and you say you have a better deal with it than me, because StreamYard is a trip. Like earlier, it was working a certain way, but I'm uploading a certain way so I can make sure to play the video so people can see it without any kind of interruption. But like I was saying earlier, Sister Demetria, I normally use XSplit, and I love that program. I think I caught it on a lifetime subscription. So it's, I don't know. I had one brother show that program to me years ago, and I just fell in love with it.
Yeah, StreamYard is the only one that I use. I mean, it doesn't give me any problems, so knock on wood.
Yeah. All right. Now I can run this video about our brother so I can make sure you play it right. So let me see if I can get that video up now.
Hello guys, welcome to the Philip Scott Show. My name is Kim the Comic from the Kinganda YouTube channel, and let's start off with the headlines. Canadian man says he burned $1 million to keep money from his ex-wife during a divorce settlement. Liberian women too unfit to join the army. Ugandan government gets more than 7 billion shillings to fight the desert locust outbreak in the country. The Ugandan government has set aside over 7 billion shillings to fight the locust outbreak in the country. For those of you who don't know about the locust outbreak, it has hit many parts of Africa, Somalia, Ethiopia, even Kenya. And now, apparently, it's in Uganda, in the Karamoja sub-region. Yes, it's going crazy. And what the government decided was to set aside over 7 billion shillings to fight the locust outbreak in the country. And I'm seated here, okay, I'm standing literally, but I'm wondering, what the hell? 7 billion shillings? Are you hiring Superman to fight locusts? Captain America? Or maybe Hulk. Hulk looks like it could be more expensive. But
all right, ladies and gentlemen. So that was, our brother, Kim the Comic. And, unfortunately, yesterday I was riding actually to my cousin's house and found out that young brother, 27 years old, the brother unfortunately died Christmas Eve. He was in a car accident and he died. And from what O'Shea was saying is that the person was drunk driving. That is so upsetting to me to hear that, because I hate drunk drivers with a passion. You can't be responsible. If you're the person going to drive, then you have to be the person say, I'm not going to drink anything. You understand what I'm saying? Like, I'm so serious about that. How I feel, Sister Demetria, I like, listen, everybody could drink. I'll drink some water. I'm good. I've seen people that lost their whole family like that. And I've said this before. If you want to drink and drive, well, I hope you hit a tree. That's how I feel about that. This young brother lost his life at 27 years old. Very, very promising young brother. And I know O'Shea is dealing with this a lot. Because him and and Kim work together like that. Jonita, definitely them two was always together working. So I definitely we want to send our condolences to Kim's family, and definitely Jonita and O'Shea, because they always tight like that, working together to produce the platform. It'd be no different if something happened to anyone on our team. It'd be very, very devastating. No matter what somebody may say about O'Shea, I definitely work with O'Shea for a little while. And O'Shea is very serious about what he's doing. He do a lot behind the scenes that people don't know. He's providing jobs here in America. He's providing jobs on the continent. And he's doing, what people talk about Pan-Africanism, right? He's doing that. And whether you agree with his opinions or not on things, don't care. I can tell you that brother has, helped us with certain connections that we still have to this day. So, we all learn and grow from each other. So I just know O'Shea's really dealing with that. So I would say, hey, I put a comment to say, hey, we could, do anything for his family, send us a line, let us know. But that's just hard to hear, just a young man losing his life like that. And there's so many people that lost their life tragically this year. There was another YouTuber I just heard about, David Carroll. If those of you who know David Carroll, you may not have to agree with everything David Carroll had to say, but the brother, lost his life, and the brother wasn't, up in age like that. I mean, I think he was in his 50s or so. And Sister Demetria, what I end up seeing, because, some people don't like his content, you had, people celebrating, this man's passing. And I thought that was very disgusting, but you wouldn't go challenge the man when he was living.
I would say this, and indeed, rest in love to Brother Kim. I mean, I know so many people, and I've known people who have been affected by drinking and driving, or a drunk driver, rather, countless amounts of people. And so, yeah, I agree with you. I too usually am the designated driver, because I don't really drink. And so, and not that I go anywhere, but if I do, I'll be responsible about it and say, hey, I'll drive, or catch an Uber, get somebody to pick you up or whatever. But there's never any need to drink and drive. And so, yes, we're sending a lot of love to his family and everybody who knew him. But in regards to celebrating somebody's death, like, why do that? Because you never know when it might be you or somebody you love that dies, and not everybody love you, and not everybody loves somebody And so the last thing you will want is for somebody to be celebrating your death or somebody you love's death, because David was loved by somebody, whether it was you or not. So we should always, be thoughtful of people who lost a loved one, because everybody who knew him wasn't what you may think that he was. So be very careful what you think about other people, because you also think that about yourself.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. And, I will say this, and I talk more about relationships on our Philip Scott Show channel, and I'm very straightforward about how I feel about them. But, in the brother's content, he talked about, hey, he didn't want to deal with no women like that. He just wanted to be by himself and alone. And that's a choice that a man can make. Right. And there's a lot of, I understand that, we talk about what the modern women may do today and all that, and that's fine. But as men, I'll tell Sister Demetria this story, I'm going to repeat it, is that it's all good until something happened to you, like a medical episode or just something, right? Or even as men, we don't want to go to the doctor. We don't. But your wife look at you and say, hey, something not right with you. Something not right. And they will be on you. Go to the doctor, or hey, you need to do this, or remind you that, or sometimes even looking out for you in certain areas that you wouldn't even seen with other people. You understand? Like, there's been times that my wife has called things out verbatim what somebody was trying to do to me, or somebody that wasn't even like real shady. And I would tell you, in the 10 years I've been with my wife, she's been right every single time. And then sometimes I'm like, well, I don't know about that. Then I come back and like, yeah, you was right. I told you. But what happened to me one time was, it was, when I was growing my hair out and all that, and I was at the time taking some medication. And it was a diuretic pill I was actually taking at that time. And what ended up happening, I was taking those pills, and the pills to make you go to the restroom, whatever. What ended up doing, it dropped my potassium level. And so I was over there, at the beauty salon getting my fro colored at the time, because yes, I got some gray hairs in here. When it's this short, y'all don't really see it, but when I grow my hair out, you will see it. So I'm like, nah, I don't want my hair looking like that. So anyway, while I went there, I'm sitting there, in the dryer, just chit-chatting with everybody. And then all of a sudden, I start feeling like this lightheaded all of a sudden. I'm like, what is that? And so I asked for some water. So she went over there. She took me over there to rinse the stuff out of my hair. And as she leaned my head back, I start feeling even more like that, like trying to, like, you see it starting to get halfway dark on you. I said, whoa, let me sit down. And then as I was sitting there, I don't know what happened like that. And then I opened my eyes like this, and everybody's screaming. I'm like, what are y'all screaming for? I said, what's wrong with y'all? You just passed out. Really? Like that. That's how I woke up. Like, really? I said, I don't feel it. I said, well, just give me some water. I'll be all right. Oh, no, we calling your wife and this, that. They call 911. We want somebody to come over here with him. And, I'm like, why y'all making a big deal? You just passed out like that. So they killed, all the sisters kept me sat down. So then my wife visitor came in there. By the time the paramedics asked me my name, XYZ, give me aspirin, give me all that. And, I was feeling like real helpless at the time, because they actually had to help me up, whatever. And then, like I said, my wife, my little girl was there. And, I was just thinking about all of that when I went to the hospital. They only let your wife back there, fellas. They don't let your girlfriend. They were talking about your wife, only your wife. So she got to go back there, make sure everything was good on the up and up, make sure, hey, everything is right. And at that time period, I had to think about that. I thank God I had a wife, right? Because all this being alone and all that is cool to a point, fellas. But when something real happened to you, or something that your wife could point out that you're not paying attention to, because even the Bible teach you that, what did God say in Genesis? It is not good for man to be alone. So let me create a help me. He created woman because God in his infinite wisdom said man should not be alone. So if you think that you are smarter than God, I mean, you can go ahead and try, I guess. But, think about that, fellas, to some time. Like, I'm not all women are bad out here. I understand some of them could be. Oh, yes. But not all are bad. All you got to do is find one that works for you. Just one. Now, Sister Demetria, am I wrong? You can correct me. But I just think the fellas, and the ladies just need to find one. It don't matter how bad even men are. Just find one.
No, I mean, you're spot on. I mean, I know we as women get on your nerves sometimes, but men, yeah, you could be alone and be all by your lonesome. But one thing you're going to miss out on is the wisdom of a good woman. Because as Brother Phil said, I mean, having a wife, or, somebody's like a wife, preferably a wife, she's going to be looking out for you. And I know you, especially men, y'all big, strong, and tough. You don't really like to go to the doctor. I'm all right. Like Phil said, give me some water. But a woman with some wisdom and some sense is going to be like, nah, get your butt up. We going to the doctor just to make sure you're all right. And so you need a good woman by your side to look after you, to look out for you, right? So I agree with you, Phil. I mean, I don't think anybody should really die alone. And like you said, I mean, if you are alone, what if something happens to you? If you have a pet or something, that's the only thing that's going to know something wrong with you. And I don't think it could call 911. So not to say that women should just be to help you as men, but, have companionship and somebody to grow old with and someone to care about you in every way, shape, and form. So I totally agree with you.
Yeah, yes, ma'am. So, I just want to just to put that out there. Like I said, it sounds all good, and like I said, I think being alone does have its perfect work. I believe that you do need to learn yourself sometime, and even if you are in between relationships, sometimes you need to assess the past relationship and just kind of see, okay, what was right in that relationship, what was wrong. Did I actually contribute to anything in that relationship that maybe, just maybe, it fell apart because I didn't see some red flags, right? And once you assess that, you write it all down in your mind or even on your paper, you tighten yourself up. So you say the next relationship, okay, I'm gonna let them know on the first date, X, Y, and Z. If they don't follow what this program is, then we're not gonna go no further.
I mean, I totally agree with you. And, I can speak to that personally. I mean, a lot of times when we are in a relationship and we get out of a relationship, we think, oh, it's you. You're a horrible person. It's all you. But then when all the dust settles, you're like, okay, well, what did I contribute to the demise of that? Not that I'm a horrible person, but oftentimes when you do some self-reflection, you realize the other person wasn't really a horrible person too. It's just, y'all got off balance somewhere. And I'm big on communicating. One of my degrees is in communications, but we don't communicate well as humans and with each other. We always assume that the other person should know how I feel and what I want to say. Well, we're not really mind readers, and so we need to be grown up and say, you know what, this is how I feel, and let's talk about this. And then how do you feel, right? So we need to learn to communicate. But I see in the comments, a lot of people saying it's not easy. No, it's not easy. Hell, it's not even easy being by yourself day to day. So imagine adding another person. But it does take work. And so it's like, how bad do you want it? Otherwise, what's going to happen is if we don't work at relationships, we're just going to keep starting over and starting over. Somebody makes us mad. We're going to tap out. Then we're going to get with somebody else and just start all over instead of saying, okay, I'm here, and what do I need to do to stay here? And I like you, and I want you to stay here too. So let's fix it.
Yeah, because no relationship is going to be perfect. None. And there's no right way to be in a relationship because I'm laughing about it. My Aunt Linda, shout out to Aunt Linda and Uncle Keith. Boy, they were telling me about how their relationship got started, and it was toxic as hell. But they dealt with each other with a bunch of toxicity and punching and him being with another woman. She getting married to him while she was with another man. And oh boy, these stories is funny. I'm like, listen, I would like to re-record that and actually get some actor and actress to act out all of that. That junk would have been funny. Like I said, seriously, everything they were telling me last night. But they still end up getting married. They still married. They happy. They can't be apart from each other. So like I can't get down with that sort of thing. You know what I'm saying? That's not the way I get down. So everybody's relationship different. That's why it's no really right way or wrong way to be, I guess. You just got to have what works for you. But what I'm saying is that no man should die alone. And I don't believe a woman should die alone either. That's not cool. And I wouldn't promote that as something you should do. Because listen, you can make all the money in the world, right? Money, you can't take it with you, right? And money is a tool. That's how I view money. Of course, you need that important tool. Like it will definitely make your life easier. Like if you versus having you a hammer in your hand to having a jackhammer, right? That's something that's definitely a lot better for something versus having nothing. It's just a tool. You don't make it your God. You don't make it your Lord. It's just a tool. But I think having a loving relationship and having family, and this is what I just believe in, having a family, even though family is hard. Oh, sometimes, especially with them kids. Now, Sister Demetrius, I know she went through the teenage stage with her I guess, how many children you have, Sister Demetrius?
Just one.
Oh, just one. Okay. With her daughter. I know she went through the teenage stage. I know she went through the stage when they think they know everything or listen to the friends. Or maybe her daughter wasn't like that. Maybe her daughter was the most perfect. But mine, it's every day. It's something new. But I wouldn't trade it to be a single man at all. I wouldn't trade it.
And the other thing too is I think, and you know, I don't have any problem telling y'all how old I am. I'm 50. But I think the other problem that we have with each other is we're expecting the other person to make us happy. No, that other person is happiness enhancement. You should already come to a relationship or whatever situation happy. And that takes work on yourself. It is not just something you do like, oh, I'm going to read a book today, or I'm going to listen to a YouTube video and then I'm going to be all right. No, you got to work at that every day. But happiness starts with you. It doesn't start with the other person, because if you're looking for somebody else to make you happy, you're both going to be miserable. So everybody has to do their part in making sure that they're on solid ground, physically, mentally, spiritually, financially, making sure you're happy. And then you just add that to the other person who is happy, and then you're happy together. That's how it works.
Yeah, now we wasn't even trying to get into relationship conversations, but it just kind of came up with discussing, David Carroll, and I'm just only basing it off of what he said in his videos. That's why I kind of went there. And I'd like to say, I just don't admonish that. Just like, I'm a firm believer of the traditional family. One man, one woman, some children. That's just what I believe in. Now, I don't have no hatred for my brothers and sisters that believe otherwise. I'm just saying that I realize over the inception of Black people over the thousands of years, now I know some people did the polygamy thing. I get it. And they still do. But I couldn't do it because I couldn't dedicate my love to 10 women or 5 women. I couldn't do that.
All your money.
Yeah, all the money. Because if you think about it, how many people, even in the continent of Africa, that have, like the really, really rich people on the continent of Africa, most of them aren't polygamous. Most of them got one wife.
It costs. Nowadays, I know, people, and I'm going to say men, because I know women do it too, but men think, I'm going to have me 50, 11 side pieces. But yeah, a lot of times the side pieces nowadays, they ain't really expecting nothing from you. Maybe a little pizza and a good time. But if you had to have some side pieces like back in the day when they really had to keep women, I'm talking about apartments, houses, credit cards, bank accounts, and all of that, you would think twice. But yeah, it costs money to have other women on the side. So why not keep that money in-house with your wife? And I hear that argument too. Well, in Africa, men have a bunch of wives. Well, we ain't in Africa. We in America, where you have one wife or one husband, and y'all do what y'all need to do, to make your family stronger and ultimately Black people in America stronger. But it costs money to do all of that. So save your money and peace of mind.
Well, we are in America, but some of us have brought some of them habits still over here. Listen, if a man got a woman, but he just cannot be faithful, I really believe he come from a lineage of men that was polygamous. I just kind of believe that. You got some men that, it don't matter how good of a woman it is. She could be the best woman to slice bread, and his behind can't be faithful to her. He gotta go fool with something else.
What he's lacking? He's not lacking being true to self, right? If you know you don't want to be with just one woman, don't be with just one woman, or give the women options. Listen, I'm not a one woman man. Could you be Monday through Tuesday? Give her an option, but don't sucker punch a woman into a relationship and then she finds out you're a polygamist. Just tell her, be upfront with it, because you know what? There's a lot of women who will be all right with that. They're like, you get on my nerves, all the time anyway, so I can only deal with you one day a week. But be upfront, because otherwise it's cheating. It's not being a polygamist, you're being a cheater.
Yeah, being upfront, I think, will save a lot of trouble. I tell a lot of men that the best thing you could do is be upfront with women, no matter how bad it even sounds. Just be upfront. You'd be surprised. They respect you a lot more when you just be upfront. Tell them what even when they don't want to hear. Tell them. Go ahead and tell them. Now, we went to a lot of topics I wasn't even trying to go into, but let's get to the main topic here, which is Black media is more important to us now than ever. Now, we have right now going on top of a lot of things going on, right? We have our end of the year fundraiser that's going on right now. And we wanted to bring that because if you had watched that video from yesterday, that we showed about what the plans are for 2022 is that we really have to promote the platform and get the platform out there a lot more than what we have now. The main thing is with Black business, and maybe Sister Demetra can expand on that, is that a lot of times we have good products, but nobody know who we are. Now, Sister Demetra says she's in communication, so maybe she can explain why is this happening about the marketing issue. But Sister Demetra, let people know, the importance of marketing and why we stay losing.
I mean, well, the importance of marketing is to get yourself out there, right? And obviously there's ways to do it. Now, I'm a communication major and a public relations. I have a master's in that. But marketing, I don't have a really tight niche on, but the importance of marketing is really to let people know what it is that you're doing. And marketing is how you do it. The advertising is really, putting yourself out there, but marketing is how you do it. But as far as Black people and why, are you asking why our products and services aren't being promoted? Is that what you're asking?
Yes. Well, I think a lot of times what I'm asking is why you think we don't put an importance on marketing? Because I just noticed that it's like the McDonald's, the Bank of America, the whatever company, they make sure to constantly keep throwing something in your face that they exist, whether it's on the social media, whether it's on TV, whether it's a billboard, and that sometimes we have products that's way better than theirs, and we just don't do it.
Well, I mean, there's a few reasons. For one, I mean, the Black consumer doesn't put a big importance on Black products and services. And you guys have heard this a million times. It's really because we have been taught that white ice is colder than ours. And so we don't really support our own the way we support everybody else's. We make a million excuses as to why we can't do it. Oh, your price is too high. And what about this? And what about that? And you guys know, can I get a discount, right? And on the other side of the counter with Black businesses, a lot of times as Black businesses, we feel like, well, if I don't want to say that I'm doing this because then, my people get mad. They want to ask me all these questions that they ain't going to ask the white man. And so Black businesses tend to scale back on promoting themselves because it's almost like, have you guys ever been in a situation where you're good at something, but other people might get mad, so you shrink yourself? Like, well, I'm gonna be here with you guys. I don't want to do too much because I don't want you to, have a negative view of me. Well, Black businesses do the same thing. We're afraid of our own people, and rightfully so, because, and I hate to say this, forgive me, y'all, but our own people are like a pack of wolves sometimes. We get together. We don't get together for much, but we'll get together and tear down a Black business before it even get, the doors open good. Perfect example. We might walk into a Black restaurant and they forget to give us some napkins. What do? We get all on social media. I don't go over there because they didn't give me no napkins, this, that, and the other. But Taco Bell mess up your order every day and you don't say a word. And so we as Black businesses, we shrink ourselves because we're afraid that our people won't support us. And not only that, they'll, undo us, if that makes any sense.
Yes, it definitely makes sense. And to be honest with you, I'm even guilty about what you just stated. I admit I am guilty of what you just stated about holding certain things back because of thinking what Black folks going to say. Yes, I have but I say, you know what, going to 2022, I'm for, you have to be, you have not because you ask not, right? And, for us, even doing this end of year fundraiser, NPR, they do it once a year. When you start talking about them churches, radio stations, all these different people do once a year, fundraisers. They say to go into the platforms to, support those endeavors, right? And I don't really see, people of those said other communities like, well, what you gonna do with the money? Shoot, are you just trying to rob us? You just trying to do this and trying to do that? Then at the same time, as a Black person, you got to deal with the misfortune of somebody else and what they didn't do right. So they're going to bring that to your lap. So, hey, so now you thinking, well, because this person didn't do right with this project, or maybe that person do right with that project. So the moment you present yours, now here come people. So now you got to go through and eliminate all the naysayers that try to come in to make it a very toxic environment, and they really weren't supporting you anyway, right? Whatsoever. Yeah. So for us, I believe that we got it. I think we built a great infrastructure here, Sister Demetria. I think we built a great infrastructure, but now we have to take that, to the next, level. Now, and I'm asking Sister Demetria before everybody, how are we operating here since you've been working with us? I mean, you've been working with us for a little while now. I mean, what is your overall assessment on what we do here? Because I believe this is a good place to, support, so we can take this thing to the next level. How has your experience have been? And no, I didn't ask her ahead of time to answer this question. I'm asking her this on the spot so you can get her genuine answer. How has it been?
Well, just from a contributor's point of view first, it's been awesome. Now, as you guys, know I'm 50, so I've worked in quite a few places before, but I've never worked anywhere that allows you to be creative and to be yourself. Like, I can't remember the last time I walked into corporate America and was able to wear an afro. I can do that here. Okay. And so, like I said, I'm able to be free flowing, with my thoughts and give my opinion with some facts in the news and all of that. But the other thing, before I became a contributor, I was also a viewer of the African Diaspora News Channel. And I love the fact that Brother Phil would bring us the news that we were not hearing on ABC, NBC, CBS, and all the other, white-owned media outlets that are only going to show us the negative things, which is why we're all so jacked up, right? Because we believe the things that the media, the mainstream media, has been telling us about us. But this platform here, you're not going to, there's a lot of other YouTube channels that are great, but I'm talking about this one. You're not going to get the information that you are getting here from so many contributors all over the world with different viewpoints. But the main focus is to give you Black news you can use, right? Some of it is entertaining. Like, it's not all gloom and doom. We like to laugh too and, talk about silly stories sometimes, but we're giving it to you from our own perspective and not the watered down Black news media's out there that's cashing white checks. And so they got to still toe the line with white people and it kind of, give you some Black news. But here you're going to get the real deal. And another thing, the African Diaspora News Channel is a Black owned business that hires Black people. So why wouldn't you want to contribute to a channel that's actually just from my channel, I've gotten a lot of subscribers and viewers, and most, if not all, say that if it wasn't for the African Diaspora News Channel, I wouldn't know this, I wouldn't know that. And so it's very informational and giving you knowledge that you wasn't going to get anywhere else. But I would say this to anybody who is out there saying, well, what y'all going to do with the money? The next time you fix your two lips to ask what Black media is doing with the money, walk yourself into your closet and count how many Air Jordans you got, how much Gucci and Louis and all those other white name brands that you put on your back every day, and ask them what they doing with your money. I guarantee you, they ain't going to tell you we giving it back to Black people. So, get out of the crab. And I'm not saying y'all, I'm talking to them over there. Get that crab mentality out of your mind when it comes to supporting Black people. Like, how y'all ever think we going to make it if we don't support each other? Honestly.
I'm with you. We got to support each other. Hold on, let me put this up real quick. Honeydew, love it. Thank you very much. I will ask everybody tonight. At the top of the chat, we have the link for the GoFundMe. We rather you do the GoFundMe. It'll be a lot better tonight, and because this is to go for the focus of 2022. And we're going to rehash some things. That's why I want Sister Demetria to be up here. We'll talk about this and let y'all see what we got going on for 2022. So, yes, marketing. And we said social media. Let me tell you, I'm going to talk to y'all about behind the scenes of some of this stuff that I don't tell y'all about, okay? Do you know that doing news on YouTube as an independent platform is harder than, let's say, if you did an entertainment channel, a sports channel, whatever, right? Because back in, was it 2015 or so, when they had that deal by Alex Jones, I forgot what year that was. And seeing, if y'all remember YouTube prior to this happening, CNN, Fox News, MSNBC could not get views. I don't know if y'all remember, like, if you go to these videos, it would have like 100 views, 200 views every video. Do y'all remember that? Do you remember that, Sister Demetria?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so they used to have. Let's see. I'm trying to see if I get this back down. Anyway, so they used to have that amount of views. The CEO of YouTube, what she ended up doing was have a thing called authoritative sources. And so overnight, what she ended up doing was pushing down all the independent creators, because that's kind of what it is. Even in YouTube and all social media, there's a hierarchy, right? And I don't care what they say, it's a hierarchy based on color. The white creators that's boring as hell gonna get the majority of views. And then, of course, the black and everybody else. That's kind of what it is. But prior to that, everybody was at the same level: mainstream media, independent creators. This lady, what she decided to do was push them above everybody else on purpose with their algorithm, and made everybody else be here. So this is why you see CNN getting millions of views and Fox News getting millions of views. Nobody watched them like that. Just be honest. Nobody. The only network is that I will say that would get views based on the numbers is Fox News, because they're the #1 network, even on TV. They #1. Outside of Fox News, the rest of them not getting views like that. So this is what we have to deal with as an independent platform. Think about it. Let's call it what it is. It ain't no reason why this channel that has 1,262,000 whatever views on this channel shouldn't be averaging, let's call it what it is, should not be averaging 100,000 views a video at this point.
Yeah, I mean, I absolutely agree.
I'm calling it what it is.
Oh, you're right.
Okay. On news, based on percentage, news normally get anywhere from 1 to 3% viewership based on subscriptions. Normally, certain ones will get it right. They're tired. Y'all don't understand how they keep certain things. Now, you may say, well, this other person doing this other genre gets 300 to 400 and 500,000 views each video, right? Because they're in the genre. Like, for instance, if you really want to start getting some views, I'm telling you, if you want to go into entertainment and you want to just go act a fool or whatever and have fun, look, I like to have fun in entertainment too. But if that's all you want to do, that's what people gonna get the views at. They cool with you getting views there. But when it comes to news, especially, and let me back up, black news. But now I'm gonna mention something. If you come underneath one of their favorites, right? And I hate to be calling names. Forget it, Sister Demetria. We're gonna call names. If you come under a group like the Young Turks, they put them in the authoritative sources category. So anybody affiliated with them, if they have a separate channel, they're going to get the views too, right? I'm just letting y'all know how it works here on YouTube. So it's hard to, like, for instance, a lot of y'all say, oh, we love what you do, this, that, and the third, but we don't get the algorithm spread like others do, that we should. You do think I don't sit here and look at this? I look at it. And then there's another thing that happens too on these platforms. They'll play with your viewership. I hope y'all know that. Like, we'll average like maybe 2 or 3 million views a month. Then all of a sudden we'll go up to 7 million, 11 million, 15 million. Then all of a sudden it'll drop back down. I'm like, how? So you mean to tell me everybody was looking for the content just that few months and all of a sudden it dropped off that heavy? It really dropped off like that? And you haven't changed not one video? You ain't switched up no editing style. You didn't switch up nothing you say. I'm telling y'all, I'm really telling y'all what go on behind the scenes on these platforms, especially with black creators. This happens a lot to black creators. You have white creators that's not even talented. They don't even put the presentation that we even put on here. None of the information that goes on, and this is what happens. I'm just letting you know. And this happens across the board to everybody. I'm not saying it's just me. Anybody that you like, they should be 2 and 3 and 5 times more popular, more subscriptions, more viewership, but they all fall in the same category, no matter who they are. If they're black, if you like them, they black, they gonna fall in this category.
Absolutely. I mean, I have seen that on a lot of people's channels. Their views aren't, what you would think they would be, especially having over 1 million subscribers. And so, yeah, something definitely is going on. Because have people tell me all the time, I don't see you on the African Diaspora News channel anymore. Or I don't see Brother Phil. And I'm like, well, I know I'm putting up at least 10 videos a week, on this channel and the Insider channel. So how could you not see me or Brother Phil? So that too tells me that there is something going on with the algorithms, or, they're purposely suppressing videos. I mean, we be making videos that are fire. And then I go check the numbers. I'm like, 2,000 views on that? And surely with the missing, persons videos that we do, you would think everybody would want to, see what was going on, but it'd be like 1,500 views or something. Like, something ain't right here. So I agree with you.
Yeah, because I remember it was so bad. I think it was around the beginning of November. I reached out to my partner manager. I said, okay, what the hell's going on? Something going on. I said, because what are y'all doing? Because it ain't no way, like the amount of volume that we put in, it ain't no way. And it's like it comes, it goes, but then all of a sudden you'll see, boom, it jumps up. Right now we got a big library, right? So a lot of our old stuff get viewership too. But yeah, you'll see it, boom, just go up all of a sudden. And like, well, what happened here? But like let's say if we had Cardi B doing something, Cardi B get 54 million views like it ain't nothing, because that is something. So that's why I told y'all the importance of donating to the GoFundMe is the marketing aspect. Because I don't come and tell y'all all these real issues that go on this platform. I just keep my nose down and thug it out. But I said maybe I should be more transparent of what really goes on behind the scenes with these platforms, especially for Black creators. I mean, Black people is complaining so much that they created this YouTube Black thing. And creating YouTube Black is okay, but address the issues. Address the issues that Black creators are having. Why is it that you could clearly see white creators are doing certain things and they're being allowed to even get put in the news, and yet we'll suffer for it, right? So when I told you about authoritative sources, somebody mentioned Young Turks. Now, let's call it what it is. The Young Turks saw what we were doing constantly, not just me, but all the Black creators. And I know how to see who's on our channels. So what they'll do, they'll watch what we're doing. So what they end up doing, and listen, I'm just calling it what it is, and I've called them out before. Since they know they couldn't present the content a certain way, they end up when got that brother that works for them, Dr. Rashad. I ain't got nothing against the brother, but that's what they did. Okay. And so he's underneath them. And when I saw the way things were happening with him, I said, that's when I was convinced. I said, okay, you barely got 200,000 views and you getting views like a person that have over 1 million. That's when I was convinced right then and there. I said, but outside of that, this is why we need to, help us with this fundraiser to push the marketing, because we can't be fighting with these people about their platform. We need to get out and we need to have the billboards. We need to get out there and put the ads out on our own. And I'm talking about not just here in the United States. I'm talking about in African countries as well. That's part of the marketing aspect and also branding aspect, because Demetria should be on a billboard somewhere, right? I mean, look at Demetria's afro. What do you want to see Demetria's afro on a billboard? What is she? She got a big billboard in Atlanta somewhere, or even Johannesburg, South Africa. What if she got a billboard out there in Orlando, Florida, something like that? Just representing with her fro. That would be a good look, wouldn't it, ladies and gentlemen? That this is what we're trying to focus on for 2022. But yeah, Sister Demetria, she part of the platform, so she'll be on the billboard too. See, I'm not the kind of guy that wants the glory. I can fall back. I really can fall back and let everybody else have it and let me stay behind the scenes. Now, I know y'all don't want me to stay behind the scenes. I get it, because I know I get it. So, but I'm saying is, I'm not the kind of brother that just needs to be in the front. I don't have to just, no. I can let everybody else be a part of it too, right? So the second thing, the reason why Black media is important, because we got to have this. We got to have this, right? Not only expansion, but telling our stories. Now, prime example, we got a video we want to show y'all real quick, and I want y'all to watch this and listen to it. Sister Demetria says it's going to be her first time seeing this video. I'm going to let it play in its entirety. It's about a young sister calling out Becky's tears. and how Black women are treated versus them. And let me cue up this video, Sister Demetria, and we will get that. Let me go back here.
These are days that I fucking hate being a model. Because I'm never good enough. And I've been modeling since 2014. And I started out as a size 02, doing editorial and runway, and now I'm a size 4'6".
I want to start out by saying that you are absolutely valid, and I'm really sorry that that was your experience within the industry. However, I would like to point out that women of color, specifically Black women, have been pointing out this problem within this industry for years. Notice how you, as a white woman, were able to get on this app and tell us your experience and get over 10 million views, 2 million likes, over 30,000 comments with immediate responses. Drop the company, let's cancel the company, call out the company, and then you receiving a modeling deal immediately. This is not the kind of response that women of color, specifically Black women, have gotten despite being activists and trying to resolve this issue. So I think that it's very important that you recognize your place of privilege as a thin white woman who at one point didn't complain about benefiting from this industry. I'm not trying to come off too critical, but I just feel like a lot of people are not recognizing how quick this response was, despite women of color, queer people, disabled people talking about these kinds of problems within this industry for decades. So I just think that that's very important. Peace.
All right. Before I let Sister Mitra have the floor, I know Sister Mitra gonna go in on this. Let me give the shout out real quick to people that have donated so far during the stream. Brother Michael Pan, thank you. Samantha Cook, thank you very much for your donation. Anna Martin, thank you very much for the donation. Carrie Thomas, we definitely thank you for your donation during the stream. It's a lot more people I'm gonna call out during the stream, but let Sister Demetria have the floor on this. Sister Demetria, what do you think about that video? Let them know.
Well, first of all, I want to say I see people in here saying shout out to Donovan Sadiq, my partner in crime. He sits with me on the Demetria Kaye show. So I think I saw him in here. So yes, big shout out to Donovan Sadiq. So anyway, the sister's absolutely right. White people, the tears get to flowing and people come to their rescue. But the question is, what people, or which, if I want to be correct, which people come to their rescue? It's their people that comes to their rescue. You know why they come to their rescue? Because they have the modeling agencies. Most of the time they own the platforms. I don't know who owns TikTok. I think maybe it's an Asian company, but still close enough, right? So white people, they have the infrastructure to take care of their own. Oh, she's crying. Let's throw her a multi-million-dollar modeling deal. But you know what the problem with us? We don't have that. We don't have those platforms. And here we have an app, the African Diaspora News app, that you guys can go and check it out. It's up and running, I do believe. That's another story, but it's there. But we don't have those businesses and the platforms to take care of our own. And so we are always going to be crying about what they are not doing for us as long as we are not doing for us. So it's until we get together, build businesses and industries and platforms and things like that we actually own, we're always going to be talking about, well, what about us? Black women cry about modeling and being treated wrong all the time, but what about us? We're always going to be asking, what about us, until we do something specifically for us. It's really that simple. Like, that's what they're supposed to do. They're supposed to take care of their own. A lot of times we cry about, oh, well, they setting up all these grocery stores and stuff in our neighborhoods, the Asians, the Arabs, the Hispanics, and they won't hire Black people. They're not supposed to hire Black people. They're supposed to hire their own people. The problem is we don't have our own businesses to hire our people. And when we do get our own businesses, we don't always hire our own people. So let's get our own stuff and we can stop crying.
Well, yeah, I mean, we should be having our own agencies and not being predatory, because I've talked to one sister in the past about the modeling, they do have for black people. And sometimes they could be predatory as well. So we shouldn't be predatory. We should have our own modeling contests, like our own that we control. I mean, like, why can't we have different versions of a, Miss Black America? You can have, Miss Black World. I don't know, something. Some Pan-African beauty contest where you're featuring all the sisters from all the countries throughout the world. If you're black, you're a part of it, right? Why can't we do that on our own? The thing is, we so quick to go and support others and not support ourselves. I don't understand that. Just like when we covered the story about the brother with the McDonald's. He gonna sit up there and take all his Major League Baseball money and invest it into McDonald's franchises, when you have a sister in Atlanta with a very, very popular burger joint called Slutty Vegan. Instead of going and invest it over there, we so quick to we always talk about racism and white supremacy and all that, and that's fine. But if we talk about racism, white supremacy so much, why do we go and give our money to the racists and white supremacists? I don't get that. It's like people always want to talk about people, oh, this is not pro-black, you ain't pro-black. Listen, the majority of a lot of these people that's talking are pro-white in their spending. They're pro-white. No matter what you say, you go to that closet, like you said earlier, you talk about Gucci, that's white folks. You talk about Fendi, that's white folks. If you go talk about Louis Vuitton, that's white folks. And most of these people, I've covered stories on them being hella racist toward black people. Over the years, I've been doing this. None of them, I think the only corporation that's kind of been a little consistent about their advocacy with black people is Ben and Jerry's. Outside of Ben and Jerry's, ain't been not one that I can think of that's ever treated us with respect.
I mean, no, you're absolutely right. I mean, especially with Gucci, you see everybody Gucci down to the socks, and we know Gucci don't like black people, but they profit off of black people. And so again, we need not to complain about what everybody else is not doing for us if we're not doing for us. Like, you should not be wearing Gucci until you at least own something that one of your brothers or sisters make. Like, I got 2 black-owned pair of tennis shoes. They're not in business anymore, probably because we didn't support them, but I still own 2 pair of black-owned tennis shoes. So I can't see the point of giving Nike or anybody else a whole bunch of money if we're not doing that for our own people. But a lot of that is with our conditioning. Why, if I give that black business some money, then they're going to have more money than me. So I'd rather give it to somebody else, because you just can't stand to see your black brother or sister make it. And regarding this fundraiser we have here, so there's about 1.26 million subscribers to this channel. Imagine if everybody subscribed to this channel donated $1 or 50 cents even. That would be a whole lot of money to do a whole lot of great things. So we don't have to think in, very big, like, oh, I don't have $100 to give. Just give $1. And if you know somebody else who subscribed to this channel, say, hey, they got a fundraiser going on, donate $1. See how easy that is?
But I think that is a good thing, what you just said. But one thing I know about my people, and I won't even allow that to go on, because I've seen it. My people, in 1 minute, they may say, we ain't got no money. But let me tell you something. You are the flyest people I've ever seen and say they ain't got no money. Trust me on that. And I'm just saying, I don't like our people to even have that in their head, because black people, not only, it's just where we put our money. That's really what it is. Because we walking around with $1,200 phones. We walking around with all kind of things but we say we don't have anything. I think we appropriate our things, those same funds, into, like I said, black companies. Like, I just found out about a company that is basically the black response to PayPal. I just found out about that. Why didn't I find out about that sooner? It goes back to what I talked about, marketing. PayPal does a great job at marketing everything, right? So we have to make sure, but it takes funds. And you talk about supporting black media and the importance of black media. You would not know about certain things if it wouldn't be for black media. Do you know the mainstream media follows what black media do now? Do you know that certain stories are not even important to them until we talk about it? That how there's been times that we talked about things in black media, people pulled up on politicians. Black media has gotten DAs out the paint, gotten political candidates out of there. Kamala Harris out of there, even though she's backdoored or whatever, right? It's been the black media that's been doing that. So we can't allow even any black media platform that we enjoy to go by the wayside of a BET. BET, to me, that story of BET is the most tragic story for black people. Look at what happens when we don't financially support our media outlets and they're forced to sell to them folks. Now look at BET. If you're in my age group, and I know Demetri remember it too, how BET was back then to today. When you sold to them folks, we don't want to be in a position where we so much up to our neck and then folks say, hey, we'll buy African diaspora from you. Hey, we all got this check for you, Phil. Here you go. And you, man, look, you good. Just turn it over to us. We never want to be in that position. I won't give nothing to them. I close the doors before I do that. But the tragedy of us not supporting, the things that was built for us, BET was a good network. It was a great network at one point in time. I mean, watching BET helped even inspire some things that I'm doing. But I don't want to say, well, we can't get anything. Because think about it. Black media can't get the ads like that. Even the ads that we have are through black people. There's no corporation. Listen, Boule Martin was crying and he got a Verizon and he got an Amazon and all of that. But look at what Boule Martin have to do to get that. He has to sell himself out and sell out his own people for him to get just a few ads. When white folks just barely lift their finger and they got about 30 ads waiting. Look, this white girl just finished crying and she got a modeling deal just by crying.
Yeah, but she's got a support system, a hell of a support system, that didn't start legitimately, but she still has one, right? Her people are going to make sure that she's all right. And so we need to make sure we do that with our people. And thank you for everybody that's donating on here and on the GoFundMe. But we just need to make sure that we do our part in supporting each other, not really just this channel, but everybody that has something, every black person that has something. Check them out, support it, and see what you can do to help, because that's how we are going to make it. That is how we're going to stop complaining about, well, what about us? We're going to have people to say, well, I got you. I got a lucrative black business here. Let me go ahead and be a sponsor. Let me support what you're doing. That's how we are going to get out of this. But we're going to have to do for ourselves and do for each other. It's like, I don't know what we're waiting for, especially with this election season that just passed. We heard a plethora of black people saying, well, we don't have a blueprint. We never had a blueprint. If we get a Democrat something they can look at, then maybe a black agenda rather. Well, it's like, well, Marcus Garvey had a black agenda. Y'all didn't like that. The Nation of Islam got a black agenda. Y'all don't like that. Dr. Claude Anderson got one. I mean, there's so many people that with a black agenda, but y'all don't like that. It's not that you don't like it. You just don't want to be told what to do. You don't want to follow something. And guess what? All of those agendas are the same. I mean, even the Black Panther Party, they had a 10-point program. They were all the same. But the question is, which one will we follow? Which blueprint, which black agenda are we going to follow? And until we decide that, we're always going to have a schism and we're always going to be begging. And one last thing, Phil, we got this whole argument over voters' rights. Oh, they're trying to take away our rights, our voters' rights. You ain't doing nothing with them anyway. You ain't making the right decision with the votes that you do use. You're making the wrong decisions. You're Watusiing yourself up in the voters' booth and you're voting for oppression over and over and over again. That's why I don't really get involved with the whole voters' rights things, because as black people, we're not voting for the right things anyway. So what difference does it make? It's all a smoke in mirrors game that the Republican, or not the Republicans, the Democrats, they play with us as black people. Oh, they're taking away your right to vote. That was taken away anyway. We take it away every time we go into the booth and vote for them, vote for oppression. So we got to, at the end of the day, support black media where you're getting the real truth and the things that you need, news you can use. So that way, when you need to make a decision, it is an informed decision. And guess what that takes? That takes money. That takes money, everything you can think of. Think of one thing. I ain't talking about walking in the park, but I'm talking about something that takes money in order to operate. When you turn on your cable TV, you think that's coming to you for free? Bet you a bunch of y'all got a cable bill that's at least over $150 a month. You ain't complaining about the news you're getting there. You're not wondering what they doing with your money there. But you can click on YouTube for free and get all this good information. So I think that the least you could do is, donate to the cause. What say you guys?
Sister Demetria, I want to respond to this comment. It don't matter if it's right-wing media, no matter what, whether it's Fox, OAN, if it's Newsmax, all of them kind of do right wing, but they have different opinions here and there. But their people go support that. If you look at the left wing, like the CNNs, MSNBCs, it's multiple platforms. See, when it comes to Black people, we gotta have this comment that says up here, and I'm looking at it, not every Black channel or Black person should be supported because the intent and purpose oftentimes is not for the uplifting of the Black community. How do you know that? Do you know that person? Do you really sit down with them and say, hey, I just kind of know, like, what you got? Where you going with this? And do people actually like them? Are they saying something so egregious that it's just so bad where you can't support them? See, we always look for an excuse why we can't support each other. Then we want to complain and say how, oh, look at how Black people businesses are. Look how Black this. We always listen. We at laser precision trying to find any minuscule thing that why we cannot support Black people, no matter what it is. It don't have to be media. It could be just any product or service. We gonna like. Why do we do that to each other? Like, let me tell you what that is. It's the little white supremacist that's in you, because the white supremacist taught you to hate Black people, to mistrust Black people, and always love and trust them and never your own. Some people feel wrong to support Black people. Like, oh, I don't know about that. I don't trust. The same thought processes that the white supremacists have, a lot of Black folks have about each other. And I said this before and I say it again. The white supremacist is your bastardized father. And a lot of you, not all, a lot of you act that way. You think just like he think towards your own people. But you know what he do to his people? He supports them. He makes sure he put them up front. He give them deals. He rally behind them. Look at Kyle Rittenhouse. There you go. It's in their culture just to murder people. That's their culture. They made Kyle Rittenhouse a hero. Kyle Rittenhouse went from some old broke, dusty dude, okay, to now he's on freaking Turning Point USA. He's on all the media. He's a celebrity now. Man, we don't even want to support Black folks, not even on a minuscule scale. You know what I'm saying? I mean, look, Sister Demetria, have you seen how these people are with Kyle Rittenhouse?
Yeah, I've seen it. But that, again, that's they folks. They're going to take care of their people, whether we like it or not. They have the infrastructure to do that. They can support their murderers and white supremacists and all that out loud and unapologetically. But it's not us. And I forget the person's name, LLJ 1814. How you doing, by the way? Love JJ is what it is. I guess I kind of get where you're going with that. Not all, Black media, as you say, should be supported, but we ain't talking about them. We're talking about us. We're talking about the Black media that should be supported. See, the thing is, we need to stop focusing on the things that are not for us and start focusing on the things that are for us, right? Because then we hijack the conversation with things that we shouldn't be talking about. Yeah, I mean, we never deal in absolutes. Nothing is all for you, 100%, but we are. Let's keep it right there, and let's spread the word about what we are trying to do here. But a book that I read by Dr. Naeem Akbar called "Breaking the Chains of Mental Slavery." I think that's the name of the book. He gave an analogy once. He says, a Black person, and I'm paraphrasing at this point, could walk into a sandwich shop, right? And let's say it's a Black-owned sandwich shop. first thing you're going to ask is, I didn't see you wash your hands. Did you wash your hands? Because I don't know what you did with your hands. But let's say that same black person walks into a white-owned sandwich shop. You wouldn't dare ask that man, that white man, I should say, if he washed his hands. You're going to assume his hands is as clean as the driven snow, and you're just going to watch him finger and massage your sandwich with his bare hands, and you ain't going to bat an eye. As a matter of fact, you're going to eat it and lick your fingers when you're done. The point is, you question black people, but you don't have a word for white people, and they mean you the most harm, right?
Right, and just for a person that said they're missing my can, my dust can is still here. And yes, we got a lot of dust going on. My can is still here. Don't worry about that. My can stay with me all the time. And that's and it's not. But the thing is, black folks, I've seen black people support things, and I've actually been proud of black people supporting things. Right, I've seen black people support, many platforms, documentaries, projects. So black people can support. It's just finding that group of black people, right? Because it doesn't take all of us to do something. It just take a core group of us. You think that in the civil rights movement, every black person was on that? Hell no. But it took a core group of black people, right, to make not only a change in America, but throughout the world. Another thing, like for instance, what we're trying to do with this fundraiser, we know the importance of getting on television in Africa, right? So DSTV is the satellite television network you want to get on in the continent of Africa to have your programming going on. It's going to take funds to do that. Now, why that's important, okay? It's important because we want the message. You talk about our story, and like some people in the continent don't know our story. How would they know unless we tell it? That's the way that works. So yes, George Floyd was a great introduction, but that's not everything we need to talk about, with us. But some people, and this is what I don't understand. You mentioned Marcus Garvey earlier, Sister Demetria. I'm trying to understand all this hardcore pro-America speech I hear a lot. Because I'm like, how can I be hardcore pro-America? And I understand, listen, your ancestors built America and mine too. So let's keep it 100. But I don't understand, like, it goes back to the hate we're talking about. If one African or one Caribbean or a few of them say something, F them Caribbeans, F them Africans, I'm Captain America. You know what I'm saying? I don't understand that, but yet we're the only ones that getting shot in the back 17 times. I don't get it. Could you help me with some of that? Because I'm just trying to understand it. I'm still trying to understand it to this day. Why is it that we're so tied down here that we can't say, okay, let's go see what else is just out there, even if it's just one time? Could you help me understand that?
Because we also believe the hype. As I was talking about the media earlier, the media, they report a lot of bad stuff about us. And so they also report a lot of bad stuff about our brothers and sisters, in Africa and everywhere else. I mean, y'all heard Donald Trump call those countries S-hole countries. And so, I went to South Africa with my brother Donovan and, my daughter, 2019. And, before I went, I was a little nervous, not because I was scared of my people, but, we had been hearing there was all these, uprisings going on and you should be careful. They killing people and all this other stuff. But when we got over there, we saw a white woman walking down with a purse by herself. We were in Joburg. And I was like, oh, hell no. If this white woman is walking down the street and she ain't scared, I'm not going to be scared. And once we got out there and, got amongst the people and stuff, we had a great time. In fact, we had a hard time wanting to come back. But, we need to stop believing the hype about Africa. Oh, it's horrible. They running around naked, in the jungle and all that. That's bull. They got, cities and stuff like we have. But go over there and see for yourself. Stop letting everybody tell you how you should live your life. Get on the plane, even if it's for a couple of days. If it's going to take you a couple of days to get there, but go see for yourself. And so you can make an informed decision off of your own experiences, not what everybody else is telling you, and I'm glad I was able to go. You know how many of us don't even leave our own cities But imagine going to a whole nother continent full of your people. You're surrounded by your people. That is an experience I will never forget. So go and check it out. But America, I mean, y'all know the story of America. America don't love us. They never have, and they never will. They didn't bring us over here to love us. They brought us over here to be products, and we are still that. If you think about it, I mean, we are the majority of the working class. So go somewhere else and check it out. But Marcus Garvey, he was on the money with that. Let's blow this joint.
Yeah, it's just for me with this situation, Sister Demetria, is that I understand that some people, you just can't take with you, and they don't understand what's coming down the pipe for this country. They don't understand. They really don't understand, because it's some dark days coming. And for those people who have their passports, and listen, a lot of you have heard that call from me, and many of you have said, brother, I got my passport. Brother, look, some people send me pictures. Hey, I got my passport, brother. I'm ready to go wherever now, and a lot of times when they obtain their passports, Sister Demetria, they feel freedom. They feel freedom, like I can go wherever I want to go. If I want to go to the Caribbean, to a black nation, cool. If I want to go to, Latin America, a lot of brothers and sisters be going to Costa Rica. Some of them have. The black side of Costa Rica. Did you go to the black side? Because you went. Did you went to Limon and all that area?
No, we didn't go there. We wish we would have, but we didn't. Next time we will.
Yeah, because somebody in the travel group I'm in, they had a supermarket in that area called Super Negro. I say, yes. I say, I gotta go there. I gotta buy something from Super Negro. Only black people. We know how to put words on everything. So it's like no matter where you go, and like part of what I'm going to do, I want to travel to almost every nation I can and find black people. I don't care if it's Europe, Asia, of course, the continent, the Caribbean, everywhere. I want to go find black people everywhere, because we are in the four corners of the globe. Even in Alaska, we there too. We everywhere, right? And I think if, Sister Demetria, we can produce something like that to show our people are everywhere, our people speak every language, then maybe that'll open their eyes up a little bit to think that this, us being global is a really something that we just wasn't exposed to, and that maybe we should just, switch up our thinking a little bit.
Yeah, I think we're just, conditioned to the misery here. We think this is it for black people. You always hear America's the greatest country on earth. Well, it depends on who you ask. It ain't the greatest country on earth to black people. Hell, black people, we're afraid to go outside, or a police car pull behind you. You're not thinking, oh, this is going to be a pleasant experience. You're thinking, oh my God, am I going to make it? As a black woman, I think that if I'm pulled over, like, what's going to happen here? Is it going to be more? So this is not the greatest country in the world for black people. See, we have to detach our minds from thinking that it is and go some other places. And if you can't afford to go to another country, go on YouTube and look at what you're missing out on. At least try to get inspired to do that. But this ain't it, y'all.
Well, Sister Demetria, a lot of these places, if you just fly economy, right, and you got to start somewhere, sometimes these economy tickets will run you $500, sometimes $500 to maybe $600 each way. If instead of spending money on the latest iPhone, your latest iPhone could be your first trip, right? I mean, can you keep your iPhone one more year if it's not broken? I mean, do you have to get the latest one? I'm just saying, if it's not broken or nothing's wrong with your particular phone. Like I'm just saying is we save our money to do so many different things. If you go in some of our closets, we literally have business class tickets just in our closet, literally.
Or eating out. I mean, how many times a week, does an average person eat out? I mean, go to your bank statement and look at how much you eat out. Hell, that was a plane ticket, and sometimes 1 month, you could have saved that money and went somewhere. So it's not that you don't have the money, you don't have the discipline, and I say I'm talking about us, the discipline to say, hey, I really want to go here. So what am I going to have to do differently with my money in order to do that? I'm telling you, you could buy a whole lot of stuff, shoes, clothes, food, but one thing that you will never forget is buying an experience. And going to the motherland is an experience you'll never, ever forget. I will tell my grandkids, if I ever have any, about my experience in Africa.
And I see one brother in here saying, hold on, let me see if I can pull that up. Our brother here say he currently lives in Qatar. Now, let me tell you about Qatar. When I was in Turkey, and shout out to the people in Turkey. I met some real cool people in Turkey. They say them dudes that come in from Qatar, they be coming in balling. They say they coming in, they just ready to drop that cash. And they say, and I was looking at the difference with the money from Qatar, in exchange, it was actually higher than ours. I wonder how that brother got in Qatar, because Qatar. But that's what I'm talking about. We got our brothers and sisters everywhere. Like I said, if y'all don't believe me, join the travel groups on Facebook. They got travel groups from all over the place on Facebook, and just look at how the conversation, the conversation is, Sister Demetria. Oh, I'm so happy I left the United States. Oh man, my kids they don't have to worry about racism. Oh, my kids are getting a better education. Oh, now I get free health care now. I don't have to worry about being broke, with medical. Because I remember last time I was in Turkey, they had a dude from the UK, and this sister was from Somalia. So it was a white guy and a Somali chick, but she was lived in the UK too. So they got to asking me about the United States, and they say, hey, I heard in the United States you guys got to pay for you like the doctors and got to pay for the hospital. I say, yeah. And they looked at me, Sister Demetria, like this and say, seriously? I say, yeah. And so the white guy, I was like, wait. So if you got say we in this dentist office, and say, so you got tooth pain and it's like just throbbing. I mean, and you have no money. What would you do? Either suffer or possibly go to the emergency room and they can just stabilize you. But they're not going to really do much for you. And they eyes just dropped. And you know what they asked me, Sister Demetria? How do you Americans allow your government to do that to you?
Yep. And they hit the nail on the head. We allow them to do that. The government is supposed to work for us, but it's the other way around. And like you said, if you had a toothache and you couldn't do any of those things, you're going to rack up debt by trying to finance, getting your tooth fixed or something. But yeah, but again, this is the greatest country in the world where, there's so many homeless people and, people without health care and all of that, and speaking of homeless, y'all know that Black people make up over 50% of the homeless population. That's mostly us, but we cling on to it like, oh, well, I'm not leaving this country. Ask yourself, why not?
Yeah, and it's like it's like, I just don't understand it. Like when we people say that. Listen, if you are white, if you are, say, what's the other word they say in Nigeria or Yimbo, whatever. If you Mzungu, whatever. Yes, it is the greatest country in the world. Matter of fact, even if you're white, this is the greatest country in the world because even whites in Europe don't get what these do over here do. That I can tell you. So this is the best country in the world for them. Okay, but it's not the best country in the world for you. Because you know what? Every time I go overseas, I got to answer questions about this country and George Floyd. Even in Turkey, I had 1,000 questions coming to me about George Floyd. And the second question I was asked about that was, why do you guys still live there? And those people keep killing you. We looked at a lot of videos and they keep killing you. Why do you guys keep staying there? Like what? And sure, I can go on this rah, we built America. Okay, but they still gonna look at you like, well, you built it, but you don't control it.
Exactly.
They're killing you.
Exactly. But it's a mindset, it's what we know. We don't know anything else because we don't want to know anything else. And like I said, Africa is the farthest I've ever been, and it was pretty far. But once I got there, it just felt like it was euphoric. The feeling that came over me, and Donovan and my daughter, we were just, it was overwhelming. Like, wow, we are actually home. That's what it felt like to me, home, to be around so many of your people. And, again, we also hear, oh, Africans don't like African Americans. That's a lie. Everybody over there was friendly and jovial and just very helpful. It was such a good time. I just really cannot describe it. And another thing is, I wasn't stressed. I wasn't stressed at all. It just felt like, wow, I could do this every single day. And so, yeah, I got my wheels to turn and like, yeah, I need to hurry up and see what I can do to get back over there. So, yeah.
Yeah. Hold on, let me get back on the screen here. For me, I've had people, Sister Mitra, say, well, you always talking about going over there. Why you ain't been yet? Because it takes time, for one. Number two, you don't know what I'm doing. Matter of fact, I promise you, I'll be out of here before you be out of here. And people need to take advantage of these trips as well. Like if some people say it to me, when's the next group trip, right? Sister Demetria, they say, when is it? Because some people don't want to go by themselves. And the trip to South Africa is actually going to be a good thing because you have two people who are Black Americans who, actually left America very successful, mind you. They still left and went to South Africa, and they don't regret it. Dr. Latasha and Mark Blanton, they are the ones that's doing the trip. Now, I don't know if Brother Donovan, I did see Brother Donovan down there. Shout out to Brother Donovan. I don't know if y'all y'all may think about coming on this one. I don't know. But it would be great if y'all could.
Yeah, I mean, most definitely we'll think about it. I'll talk to him and see what it is. This fool on, he says, I'm willing to sell Demetrius' contract $1 million. Donovan is crazy. Yeah, but most definitely would love to go back to Africa. Would love to. And anybody else on here, think about going. Like, Brother Phil said, you don't have to go by yourself. You're going with a group. It's, it's toured, a tour guide, and it's going to show you the ropes. And once you get over there, you're going to be like, I should have came a long time ago. I'm telling you, I will not tell you any lies, not on purpose anyway. But anyway, yeah, you really should look into going to South Africa. It's in March, right?
Yes, March 16th through the 25th. March 16th through the 25th. Yes.
Yeah, yes. I know, absolutely. But yeah, we need to change our mindset. When we start to change our mindset about how we see ourselves and how we see our people, then things are going to get better for us, and just in general, if you find yourself feeling a certain type of way about one of your brothers or sisters who is trying to do something in business or, make it, and you feel like, the hate coming up, ask yourself, why? Why do I feel bothered by one of my brothers and sisters doing something? Is it because I'm lacking somewhere? And if you are lacking, and that's true for all of us, right? Figure out how to fix it. Figure out what can I do to get on their level. And here's an idea. Why not just ask them? Hey, brother. Hey, sister. I like what you're doing. I like that car you driving. I like your house. Can you, tell me how you went about doing that? And then if somebody is asking you that, share the knowledge, share the wealth. Say, sure, I don't have a problem, with telling you how I got here, because it's going to take some give and to get in order for us to make it. But you feel yourself feeling a certain type of way about somebody, ask yourself why. Do some self-reflection. And normally you'll come back to the answer that, wow, I need to work on myself, especially if I have a problem with one of my brothers and sisters making it. Because the more of us that make it, then we're all going to make it, right? We're supposed to.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Let me read some more people here that have recently donated. S. Wilson, thank you very much. Sister Tawana Cook, she says, I support Black media that does not have a hidden agenda. I always say, just keep listening to people every day. Eventually, they're going to tell on themselves, whatever that may be. Sister Danielle Barnes, thank you. Brother Kenny McLeod said, carry on the good work. Thank you. We sure will. Adlai Hatcher, appreciate it. Brother Charles. Franklin, thank you. Deron Sobers, appreciate you. Derek Rennie. Sister Latanya Holder, thank you very much for your love offering. We really appreciate that. Montreal Miller says, I ride what you feel, and those behind the scenes, that's including Sister Demetria. He said, B1 family. He said, Marion Turner and Kimberly Gilla, if I'm saying your name right, thank you very much. And also, let me tell y'all something else. Everyone that is on this platform, whether you see them or behind the scenes, we, have to pay them. Okay. I'm just being transparent. People's time is worth something. And so we have to make sure that pay hits their bank accounts. Okay. And that's one stress that stays on me at all times. we have to make our payroll, and it feels good to do it. Okay, I want to give more, but the more you support, trust me, like Sister Demetra said, if somebody gave me $1 million today, oh boy, Demetra gonna celebrate because she about to get a pay raise. She will get a big pay raise and everything else that come along with that, because we would do, there's so much we could do with $1 million. But yeah, we would definitely appropriate those funds. I think that personally, if you're not creating jobs in your community, then what are you doing? Listen, I'm a firm believer that we can say rah 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 rah, Dr. Francis Cress Welsing and Marcus Garvey and everybody else. But if you're not creating jobs in your community, are you really translating that speech to tangible things for your people? That's the problem.
Yeah, I mean, that's an excellent question. And I see somebody, yep, he says, yep, 1776. I'm assuming you're talking about me. He says, so how does she get where she is? Well, that all depends on, you know, where you're talking about is. I mean, I don't know what that is, but I tell you what, I'm not where I want to be, but it sure did take a lot of hard work, you know, maybe some blood, sweat, tears. But wherever you deem me to be, I didn't get there, you know, by snapping my fingers. It took a whole lot to get here. And as I said, I've been on this earth almost 51 years in April. And, you know, it wasn't always hard, but it wasn't always easy too. But I'll tell you this much, because a lot of times people like to ask that question. I don't know if it's because you're trying to be snide or slick or whatever the case is, but we all are exactly where we are because we want to be. Whether you realize it or not, whether you admit it or not, we are all where we are because we want to be, because that's the amount of effort that we are putting into wherever we are. So if you're doing poorly, maybe it's not all your fault, but a lot of it is your fault, because you have to ask yourself, how bad do I want to be or do better? And if you have an answer to that, then put the wheels to motion, like get moving. But get out of the habit of asking people who have busted their butt to get where they are, how did you get where you are? Because normally when you ask that, you're being a smart ass. Excuse my French. You're not meaning it because you really want to know. You're asking so you can be the smartest person in the comment section. Work on yourself and get to your point in life where you really want to be. That way you can rub elbows with the people you asking those questions to. But work on yourself and stop trying to trip up the next man who done put all his work in or putting in the work to get where he or she is. Like knock it off. Work on yourself.
Yeah, Sister Demetra is right. You definitely got to work on yourself. And like I said, nothing worth having is going to be easy, okay? Nothing worth having is going to be easy. You know, I said another thing I just want to touch on real quick, because I know we eating up all Sister Demetra's time. You know, like I said, we want to, with these funds, we want to hire more people. There's people that's even contributors. Because see, let me explain to you how it works. We have contributors, and then I have what I call our journalists, right? So our journalists, that they are our people, you know, regardless. Contributors will come, some may go for whatever the reason, because some people may ask me, what happened to this person? What happened to that person? Well, that person, you know, felt things were going good for them here at one point in time, and then they felt they wanted to move on with their own platforms. It's never like you see somebody leave. It's never, oh, we had some drag out argument and, oh, we didn't do right. No. It's nothing like that. It's just some people come and contribute. Some people, I want to be journalists, right? Maybe it don't work out for them, so they prefer to do contributor. Some people that want to be journalists, and I really want to get them here. Oh, one guy in particular I want to get here. But, you know, we got to have the money to pay him. And this, I'm not going to mention his name, but you know the guy. I would love to have the guy. Trust me, he want to be here. He want to be, and I want him here. But this is when it comes to those finances, right? Because, you know, getting a brother like that to come here full time would be great for me. Great for me. He's hella respected. So that would be awesome. But we got to have the money. I can't bring somebody on and say, come do something. And then I'm looking around when it's time to pay, like, shoot, how am I pay him? You know, we don't want to act like that, because you don't want your name in the streets like others have been in the past about, he didn't pay me my money. And I didn't making videos about you that you didn't pay them their money 2 and 3 months. I don't want that my name in the street like that. I don't think that's good. I don't think you could be trusted when people saying you ain't paying them in 2 or 3 months. I'm just saying, but you say you're worth a lot of money. So we got to buy software and equipment. That's part of that too. As we talked about, we talked about partnering with other companies, definitely with group trips. But we want to grow this thing, ladies and gentlemen. We don't want to. Listen, we got to grow it past this YouTube platform. I'm gonna keep repeating that. Upgrading our website. We got to finish that upgrade. That's going to cost, a little bit more money to finish that. That's part of this too. Everything is a part of growth. And we got to take this platform and move it more so to the website. 2022 is about that for me too. It start transferring this to the website, but the upgrade got to be complete. We I think 3/4 there, but we got to get complete. So Sister Demetria, definitely, you've been here for a little while. Before we wrap up, you have anything to say to the audience?
Well, I have a few things I want to say. Thank you all for supporting the African Diaspora News Channel and the other channels. And for those of you guys who come watch me on the Demetria Kaye Show on Sundays, I won't be here tomorrow because it's my daughter's birthday. But thank you to everybody who has donated to the channel. And to those of you guys who want to and just don't have it right now, thank you for what you do. If you share it with somebody or whatever the case, thank you to everybody. But I also want to just kind of circle back to 1776. You say, laugh out loud. She said at that moment, ask how they got there, share info, then call a snide, laugh out loud. Well, I mean, we really could be here for 2 weeks if I really share it with you how I got here. But here specifically at the African Diaspora News Channel is because of the time and effort that I put into here. I wish I could show you my bookcase and all the other books and stuff that I read. I read all the time, but I had knowledge that was born to me by my mom and my dad and just a whole host of other people. And so I would love to say, I took a magic pill or I, stirred up a drink and drank it and I was smart or whatever and I got here. That's not how it works. You have to put in the work to whatever it is you want to do. If you want to be a burger flipper, put in the work and be good at that. That's all. That's really all I can say. Because a lot of times when people say, well, how did you do it? You really want people to give you the yellow brick road so you can just walk right on down and get to the goal. But it takes work to get there. So I don't have an easy answer for that. And I wasn't trying to be, rude to you. So, please forgive me if it came off that way. I just want to, let everybody know that we all got to do the work. It's not always easy, but if you just keep going, it is worth it. And my mom, she's no longer here. She passed in 2016, and I have a voicemail of hers. And she told me, she says, I can't wait to see you on a television show. I just see you doing it and speaking before a lot of people. So she spoke that into me before I got here. But I'm here to tell you that it wasn't easy. It took a lot. Like I have a lot of stories to tell you, but I ain't gonna tell you tonight. But I did the work and I'm doing the work, if that makes any sense.
Yeah, Sister Demetria is definitely doing the work. One person asked a question here. I want to respond to it. Where is it? Not that question, but just real quick. They want me to get back to them about handicap access for the trip. If you go and email the Real South Africa, and we'll put that in the pinned comment afterwards and tell them you want to go on the trip, but then you ask them, they will be the ones to facilitate that for you. I have no control about payment. I have no control about setting up tickets, none of that. That's turned over to those brothers and sisters that do that. So please ask them any kind of question like that about, handicap access, etc. So with that being said, Sister Demetria, thank you for taking your time out with us this afternoon. And you have a great time with your daughter tomorrow. And I don't know what y'all plan on getting some great dinner. Go and have some fun.
Nothing, that thing is still running around out there. So it's not really a whole lot that we can do, but
Sister Demetria, this is what I say about that. That thing gonna be around just as much as the flu, I believe. I just say I put on my what's that thing called, my N95 mask, and I wear it, where I need to wear it. I wash my hands. I always tell people, I don't tell people if they should take a jab or not. I'm not a medical doctor, and ain't about to come sue me because I told you to or not to. No. But that's just kind of like what I do. I just say put on your mask, and I wear my mask when people don't even want to wear it at all. You know, me, my wife, and my kids, we wear our masks.
Yeah, she's actually planning a trip, for, to back to California with all of her friends. They're going up to the snow and the mountains, and so that's what she's gonna, do. And I've contributed to that. So
okay, awesome.
Mm-hmm.
All right, well, Sister Dimitri, have a great weekend, and like I said, we definitely see you on the next upload for sure. Now I tell y'all, there's a lot of videos that people put up. YouTube been tripping on their reviews because like when they hit the yellow button, I got a bunch of videos on another channel that need to go up, and I can't put them up yet because of this freaking review process. So anyway, they'll get out. But thank everybody for listening. Sister Mitra, thank you for joining us tonight, and everybody, we'll see you on the next one.